Okay, so when I joined this project, Helen was already attached. It was kind of an open assignment for directors, and I came and I did my pitch. The script was basically 80% war, 20% Golda. And I wanted to change the narrative. I said, for me, as an Israeli, as someone who was born into this war, I want to tell the story of Golda. So it was 80, I would want to make it 80% Golda, 20% war. And I also wanted to do a war without a single drop of blood. That everything that we experience is via sound or drones, you know? And I think that after a month, they came back to me with, okay, we love your pitch. What do you think about Helen as Golda? And I said, well, she's one of the best actresses of our times. And they told me that Gideon Meir, her grandson, was thinking about her first as to play his grandmother. He said, I see Helen, I see my grandmother. That's what I would want to know. And that's what they did. So they sent Helen the script, Helen read it, and then we met in the pandemic and we sat for 3 hours and just spoke and spoke and spoke. And she told me that she was 29 when she volunteered in the kibbutz in Israel, picking tomatoes, hitchhiking from north to south. She had a Jewish boyfriend, and she already like portrayed Jewish women before, like Women in Gold and The Debt. And I felt that I'm speaking to my mom. I felt like I'm speaking to someone from my own tribe, you know? She felt to me like she could be totally Golda. And then we dove into, she was on the same page with me about telling the story of an older woman and to do kind of a character piece rather than just a war movie. And that's what we did. Well, Golda was sick. She was a sick woman, and you know, she had to deal with this her entire life. But towards the end of her days, it became so. I mean, she didn't have only lymphoma. Her feet, her legs were swollen. She had back problems. She had. I mean, she was just a wreck, you know, physically. Now, mentally, she started to be a wreck when the war started. Don't forget, this is a country 30 years after the Holocaust. So all those people are basically either came from the Holocaust or first generation for Holocaust survivors. So you walk with this sense of, oh, they're gonna decimate us again. They're gonna diminish us, you know? And so she had this feeling she was refusing everything. Everybody who wants to deal with her and make peace with her, she said no. He wants to kill us. He wants to delete us. So, you know, the sickness was not only the physical aspect, it was also a mental. She felt prosecuted. She felt like she's this little girl hiding in the cellar. And although she said she's not, she was terrified. The worst day was when I was sick. I had pneumonia and I came to set and I tried to hide it. I tried to play like business as usual. And I was in front of the monitor, hardly sustaining the day, trying to make the day. And suddenly I feel this kind of a soft hand on my shoulder and I look up and I see Golda. And Golda tells me, Gaichuk, I see that you're sick. I see that you don't feel, you're not yourself. Can I bring you my assistant? Can she make you tea? Can she bring you soup? We need you today. We need you strong. And I was like, how does she know that? First of all, Golda coming to me like it's surreal. And B, how does Helen know that I'm feeling bad when everyone else do not? I didn't even tell it to my personal assistant. Anyway, she saw me. It was not an easy day for me to go through. But I made it through her, through Helen. The best day was when I saw two geniuses sitting in front of each other, Liev Schreiber and Helen Mirren, and just go at it, you know? And I was just in front of the monitor and I was like, I don't need to say a thing. Just let them play. Let them go, you know? These people are so good. they're like the NBA players of cinema. And I was overwhelmed. It was 2 days of shooting with Helen and Liev. It was just delish. In Israel, it was very emotional. It's still, we screened it in front of 6,000 people in an open amphitheater in Jerusalem Film Festival. And 6,000 people came. A lot of them are veterans. The Golda Meir family came, and Helen came. Oliver Stone was there. It was a very, very emotional screening, and the film opens on Friday in Israel, so we'll see what happens. But people are really, really emotional by that, and they kind of miss the the older generation. They take care, that think about the country more about themselves, unlike what we see now in with Benjamin Netanyahu, that is so, corrupt and selfish, and think about his own self rather than the country and the people. So there's kind of people miss Yitzhak Rabin, Shimon Peres, Menachem Begin, Ben Gurion, these leaders, and one of them is Golda. Well, Julian, like we deal here with the right wing and with those fascists, we go out to the street and we protest. That's what I did with my dad and all my people and veterans from the war. We went to the streets and protest against Bibi, against this crazy fascist government. And I'm not even talking about the Palestinian side that need to be addressed. You know what I mean? This is like what we're doing to ourselves from within. I guess that you can find a sliver of hope from the people that really care and really fighting this regime. The left is going out to the streets in Israel and fighting the good fight. And I really hope that the judicial system, the high court, will block Bibi and tell him, this is it. You cannot do anything more than what you did. You're blocked. And I really hope that he will approve and accept the ruling of the High Court, because that's what they're going to do. Otherwise, we'll have a civil war, But you're right, the 1973 debacle and the blindness of these people is a full circle to what we see today in Israel. It's the Yom Kippur of democracy. That's how they call it.